Hello, my name is Laura Magdalene Eisenhower, and I am an intuitive astrologist, a cosmic mythologist, and a global alchemist. I'm also the great-granddaughter of President Eisenhower. And so there's always been a lot of energy working between the somewhat metaphysical and mythological and the exopolitical and then what we see playing out on the world stage. And Eisenhower warned us about the military-industrial complex, and I'm sort of coming in with a whole new set of warnings based on where everything has gotten itself to. We are dealing with collaborations with extraterrestrials in our governments. We are dealing with a mass scale of abductions. We are also dealing with degradation of our environment and highly advanced technologies that are hampering nature and trying to control us, and both are, incredibly connected. It's very important for us to understand that we're in this very powerful shift time right now. And this shift time represents our ability to upgrade our DNA and truly unfold into our highest potential. And it relates to timelines. It relates also to how this planetary body was naturally seeded as an ascension planet. The history goes all the way back to the original sinking of Atlantis and Lemuria into this lower harmonic universe, where the goddess Sophia morphed into the physical planet to aid in our awakening process and to aid in how we assimilate cosmic laws. And the aid is basically that she put her spark in all beings so that we would all eventually be able to return home and not be led astray by dark forces and controller agendas. So the number 13 is very significant, and it's the 13th today. It's Friday the 13th. And basically this planet was seeded with a 13-dimensional core. And that relates to DNA. It relates to the gateway back into the energy matrix where the original Trinity resides. It's really how we connect to true source. And it is much higher than these lower creator gods and all these different scenarios that we have been dealing with. And as we know, the number 13 has been taken out of a lot of things. The zodiac, there isn't even a 13th floor in most buildings because it's very taboo. Most people don't even relate to the 13-moon calendar anymore. And we've been dealing with a Gregorian system in a very patriarchal world. And so 13 is very significant. And the Venus transits are also very significant. Basically, the planet Venus has been drawing a perfect pentagram in the sky as it has orbited for thousands of years. Astronomers and astrologers have been able to, track it, and it creates a perfect pentagram, drawn star, 5-pointed star. It also creates a beautiful sacred geometry that looks like a rose. And so the Mayans understood that the Venus transits were leading to this incredible window period. They focused in on the date 2012, December 21st. But the whole window period is a little bit longer than that. And it's very important that we understand the manipulations going on and do our best to unplug from the artificial matrix. The great warning from President Eisenhower was about the military-industrial complex. And the many layers, relate to the hidden Mars agenda. And now, we are seeing a lot of cover-up connected with this, as we've been trying to expose a lot of the hidden truths. The ET government treaties are another thing connected with the warning, and those originated with Aleister Crowley, Churchill, and Hitler. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to grasp, and there's a lot of information I'm going to be putting out there and sources of where I got this information from. But basically, the first president to sign an ET government treaty was Roosevelt. And then Truman set up the 3-letter organizations and a lot of the investigations surrounding this alien question. But by the time Eisenhower stepped into office, the treaties and the abductions had already been underway. And he, proposed that we keep an eye on, MJ-12, who has their hands on alien technology. And it's been noted that the treaties are renewed every 10 years. So his meetings, which are, rumors we've been hearing about for a long time, I'm sure did indeed happen. But by that time, whistleblowers have called it more of a surrender because so much of the infiltration had already taken place. Originally, he had sided with the Nordics, but wasn't able to convince others and reach an agreement. And then the Greys showed up. Dan Burish, a whistleblower connected to MJ12, who's a microbiologist, has talked a lot about timelines and future human selves that have time traveled back to get their genetic material and to also, give us information, which ties into the colonization of Mars. So this is a very profound time, and we have to understand, the weaponization of nature and the mind control that's going on. And this is another huge warning, I guess you can say, from an Eisenhower, that we step back and, take a deep, hard look at everything. Everything from that person climbing out of the window of Buckingham Palace, which Madison Truesdell and I will be talking more about when we put out our next Justice Twins video. The stuff that we see on television that is very much an imitation or mockery of, deeper truths, and where we can find clarity on that. And I do readings and sessions and can really help a person to flush out their creative channels of all foreign energy and imprints so that they can receive their own instructions from their higher self and creative self and then manifest, their dreams and visions into reality. It's very important to understand the different imprints that we're working with. Some are artificial, some are organic, and society very much takes advantage of a lot of the initiations that are presented to us. Very often we feel so disorientated that, we might run to get on medications, or we might hold on to a lot of projections that other people throw at us, or we might not give ourselves ample time to work through the energies. And my goal and my mission is to assist people through some of those initiations, understanding that, we are going through some high-level activations that will help us to get to a whole other place, into higher earth energies and a greater expansion and unfoldment into our higher potential. But sometimes it takes disruption and upheavals and shock. Sometimes it means we have to let go of something. Sometimes when we resist these things, they end up happening anyway, and it manifests as a crisis. So we need, a better, more positive relationship with nature and ourselves and all that's unfolding. And in the artificial matrix, it's very easy to be yanked into, addiction and distraction. And so, my work is also about helping people to unplug, to see, what's really happening. And as this planet is seeded with a 13-dimensional core, this is an ascension planet that's blossoming, and we are a part of that because our DNA is linked to the stargates. Our heart energy is linked to the goddess and the Venus transits. And so we don't really need to stress ourselves. We just need to free ourselves of the influences that are going to make it a lot harder. This is very natural. This is natural alchemy. This is organic. And there's a lot of different mythologies and stories that we can learn about and learn more about ourselves. What I've come to understand is there's a lot of alterations, even with the Nag Hammadi. I've had a lot of readings done to, just kind of take my suspicions about all that somewhere. And there have been a lot of distortions. So I'm going to be speaking a lot more about the Sophia and goddess energy from my heart. I used to do that a lot. I wrote many chapters to a book that I haven't put out yet. And I found that, some people just really want proof, and some things you just can't really prove. So I've been quoting a lot of people that have parallel information. But there's some things that haven't really resonated that I've, stepped away from in the last couple of years, where there's a patriarchal slant to a lot of the stories about the goddess. And I'm working with psychic medium and really accessing my past lives and a lot of information that can help answer these questions, because I'm deeply connected to the goddess Sophia and Gaia Sophia, this Mother Earth energy, and also the aspects that are in the underworld and in the higher dimensions, and have been on this Venus journey for many, many, many lifetimes. And I'm going to really be addressing it and how we can link up to it and really, shift into this incredible embodiment. Our human vessel is the most advanced technology, and we are unfolding in a very beautiful way. But really the prerequisite to unity consciousness is really knowing ourselves and having the opportunity to do the inner work so that we are representing ourselves as the authentic trueness of who we are, what's really deep on the inside, and the truth about what we came here to do. And, sometimes truth isn't as fixed and solid as we think. Sometimes it's just, about what allows us to feel like ourselves, and our physical body helps us to stay aligned with our truth. The physical body gives us symptoms and indications of where we need to adjust ourselves. And when we're balanced and when we are in a good state of health and well-being, then we're living our truth. And our truth can be, all about the dreams that we're bringing in. Our truth can be about the skills and abilities that we're bringing in, and also the challenges and ruts that we're here to work on. There's other truths that are more maybe factual, but it's sort of a right and left brain thing. And with the balancing of the masculine and feminine, we're able to bring together information that, incorporates, both sides. And that's, what's so wonderful. The number 13, we know that there's the 13 families of the Cabal, the Illuminati, and then there's this very profound 13 number connected to the mother arc and what this planetary body is seated with and what we need to connect to in order to expand into the next level. And that's what's been cut off. And so the 13 families and everything else have been creating these reversals and feeding on some of the scenarios that happened where, planets like Tiamat exploded, and those fragments and some of that dead space has been used in dark ritual to worship and feed on humans and the goddess energy. And so this incredible restoration process is helping to seal up those outer forces from being able to vampire and plug in and, take. And the more we know ourselves, the more we integrate all these archetypes into harmony and balance, the less we will be fed off of, and we, just need to give ourselves permission to unplug and, to, go inside ourselves and to exercise the muscles of discernment. It's really not about putting anybody on a pedestal or having huge expectations connected to anybody, but it's really, about, understanding the self. And there are guides and there's a lot of assistance out there. Like I said, I do readings. I have a lot of people I can refer individuals to that have certain expertise in certain areas. And, this is sort of how the web of life is. The dolphin knows what it's here to do. The squirrel does. The butterfly does. All the insects and everything that supports an ecosystem. That's what creates a web of life. And on a human level, we're doing this too. And so this great unfoldment, is really, a return to the mother and, the masculine energy and balance, which births the magical child. And we've been dealing with, the goddess, and the divine feminine exiled while these patriarchal energies have been running the show, while she has been very much locked in the underworld and in her own creative cauldron, unable to really stand in her power and rise in her power. And that's all, changing. And, the Venus transits and what it's been doing has been weaving these great sacred geometries and the pentagram, which is allowing a reversal from the pentagram that's been inverted, where we experience matter as having and holding dominion over us. Now it's about waking up to the fact that spirit holds dominion and we can create miracles and balance, of the masculine and feminine births that Christ consciousness. And we can engage with the earth and the earth will respond to us. And, we can write the script from this point forward. And we can write beautiful stories. We just have to be willing to speak them, share them, ground them, anchor them, and be consistent. And so I look forward to putting out, more videos, but basically, the warning is watch out for these dark technologies and manipulations. Pay attention, to the different stories that are, out there, and recognize that we're dealing with, criminal activity, and we're going to, put out a lot more videos, the Justice Twins, my collaborations with Madison Truesdell, and I just have a very big year ahead of a lot of events, and, I really look forward to really helping people to connect deeper with Gaia, moving into the 13th gateway that takes us into the infinite, beyond numbers, beyond the zodiac. It helps us to graduate from the zodiac, and it helps us to experience the multidimensional goddess as Gaia and also ourselves. And these are the times, and so, be careful about your free will choices. Be careful what you give your power to and how you invest your energy. Watch out for, television and all the manipulations and false flags. and, help us and support us in creating a whole new paradigm. Going in to, change the system as it stands is going to be a lot harder than, creating something from the ground up, that empowers people's natural skills and abilities and helps us to be a web of life, where we all play our unique roles, but we come together in a vibration of oneness and unity, because diversity in harmony is true oneness. And, it's about empowering leaders. It's about, education, and it's about allowing ourselves the experiences that will shift us on a cellular level, on a vibratory level, and on a level where, we'll know with certainty, what our power is really all about and what it's capable of doing. And, a lot of it's about the co-creative abilities of being, manifestors. So I look forward to sharing more and more updated information about Sophia. That's not so much about, what has been written, but more about, what exists deep within the soul, and we'll be accessing, as much about that as I possibly can. And there's a lot to share also about time travel manipulation and how history is being rewritten, and a lot that I'd like to share about, Eisenhower and my journey as his spirit guide, and how he's also mine, and just a lot of, great confirmations I've had about that too. So blessings and love to you. CosmicGaiaSophia.com is my website. You can sign up for a reading to have deeper understanding of yourself and huge transformations that will prepare you for all that's to come and free you from all the enslavement agendas and dark agendas and things that keep us stuck in the mud. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.